Hello there. My name is Tarleton, and I'm a spiritual director with the Wellness Initiative, and I'm glad you're part of this initiative as well. And I'm excited to hear stories that come out of your journey with Jesus during this season. A little bit about me. I'm 60 years old, and 38 years ago I married my high school sweetheart, Janice. And we have 4 grown children and 2 grandchildren. I was a vineyard pastor for 25 years, 8 years as an executive pastor at Vineyard North Phoenix, and the next 17 years as a church planter and senior pastor. About a year and a half ago, Janice and I transitioned our church to another couple, and we moved from Arizona to Iowa to be closer to our grandchildren and, of course, our oldest daughter and son-in-law. And so in this season of life, everything has changed. We're grandparents, living about 10, 12 minutes away from our grandchildren, but also we are in a place ministry-wise where we're doing lots of spiritual direction, and we're passionate about that because it has been so instrumental in our own lives. The last 7 years or so, I've had a spiritual director and meet every month with him, and it has really been transformational and life-changing. It is through that process that I've discovered how intimate Jesus really can be, and how my life with him is so much different than I ever dreamed it could be. It really is. I found a place where Jesus is who I'd hoped he would be. He's funny, he's engaging, he's warm, he's loving. And I have really come to a place where I believe, not just in my head, but in my heart, that Jesus loves me just as I am, in my brokenness. And my hope is that you'll find that as well. Just a little background on spiritual direction. It is an ancient practice of the church that's gaining traction in the Protestant church now. And Paul uses this phrase, Christ in you, 63 times in his writings. And what I find experientially as a pastor, but also in my own life, that we often see God as a distant God. He's distant emotionally, relationally. We find that many times he doesn't even answer our prayers, especially the way we would like. And all of those things can be frustrating. And yet we still read that Christ is in us. And so rather than shouting at the ceiling or the sky or trying to, call on this God who is way off, it's important that we look inwardly. And that's what part of what spiritual direction is where we say that Christ is in me. And we become aware of that. And so we go inward and we look at our souls. We open our hearts. We find a safe place to be broken, a sacred space to be able to say, this is what I'm feeling. And to go to that place without any judgment, any critique, any of that kind of stuff. And that's really what spiritual direction is for me. As a spiritual direction, I am just a companion on your journey. I'm not there to dictate what happens, where you turn on the journey, to judge what you say, what you feel, to judge what you're sensing, or to try and fix you in any way. I'm simply there to make observations and ask questions that help you dive deeper with Jesus. My hope is that as you journey, that you will find a spiritual director that works for you. I'd be honored to be your spiritual director. My style is very unhurried. I allow lots of time for quiet and reflection, and it's in the silence that I believe the Lord speaks more loudly and clearly. I would love to join with you on the journey. May your journey be rich, full of grace, surprises, and amazing love. Peace to you.